Welcome. We are glad to be here together again, and we have a few things for sending out in the mail again. We are hoping to bring a little bit of the lightness of spring, so we have our wonderful butterfly, and also a bit of that hide and seek or seeking of the treasures. We have some neat little origami books that we are calling hidden treasures, so that we can send those out with well wishes and special secrets tucked away inside. And we also have some stones. This is our favorite one.
Mine. It's mine.
Where we can make these sharing stones to take to your neighbors and place them outside at a safe distance so that we can share a little bit of that lightness of spring, even with the heaviness of what's going on right now. So we are going to start with our wonderful stones, and I've got to get them out of the oven. So one thing to note about these paperweights or sharing stones is that you can do them with this, which is concrete. So if you're lucky enough to be able to walk around your neighborhood and find some wonderful soft, smooth river stones, great option, very good choice. If you have concrete, you can make a beautiful rainbow out of concrete as well. The thing you got to do is heat them up in a very low oven, so 200 degrees. And once you've let them sit for 2 hours, since of course we have the time to let them sit, they sit in the oven on a cookie sheet for 2 hours at 200 degrees. Easy enough to remember. We're going to pull them out when they're nice and warm and take a crayon and draw on them. The neat part of the process is it truly does melt very quickly. Have a parent with you or a person with big hands, but little folks can use a nice old oven mitt, and adults will use them as well. So I'm going to go grab our rocks and we'll get started. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So now we have our rocks from the warm oven, and again, it's not terribly hot. I can touch them, but they are pretty warm. So we're going to have ourselves nice little mitts, and we can pick up a little stone. Is this one going to work for you? You choose one.
Hang on. I think I can do this one. This one.
All right, so you get that with our mitt, put it on some loads of wonderful newspaper. On your cookie sheet, we have just put down some parchment paper, but since it's such a low temperature, you can also use newspaper if you don't have parchment paper available. Okay, and now we're just gonna grab our colors. I'm gonna make this one as red as I can and maybe add a little purple into it. Sorry, I'm not very good at using my mitts. I tend to, so you can just put a little bit of color on it. This one is little, and so it is melting as I go.
See? Melted.
Lucy's doing much better with the larger rocks. I would say if you can find a larger rock, it is better.
Yeah,
and
trying
easier
to find
to do.
a lighter one. The darker ones don't show up as much.
That's right. Lucy made a wonderful one with a heart.
But you couldn't really see it.
And you couldn't really see it. So this part, I would tell you, is just fun to do because you're just putting a little bit of wax. It melts and goes on the rock as you do it. And it's really quite neat. I've put the nice red color down, and now I'm going to put a little purple in the center. Lucy is making a wonderful rainbow.
I think it'll be, this one's the rainbow kid, and that'll be the rainbow mom.
That's a great idea.
Can I have the purple?
Sure. And as we mentioned, this is a great option for something to put outside a neighbor's on their walkway, or maybe on a railing of a porch or something like that. Again, all of our ideas are to enjoy the time we have together, but also to share that. And this one is, in some senses, gives us that chance to just watch the process as you create. I'll let you know the last couple of pieces then is to let these cool.
Overnight.
Overnight is best. And then once it's cooled, you can actually take a little bit of a paper towel or a soft cloth and just rub it up a little bit to shine it up. And there you go.
This isn't showing. Okay.
The dark ones are a little harder.
Bye.
Thank you. We'll have another project here in a minute.
Welcome back to the Dowd Kelne Project. Sometimes we get butterflies when we're excited about things, and I definitely have butterflies for today. We are going to make butterflies, something that you can send in a letter that you make for somebody. If you have origami paper, great. If not, you can use normal paper, but you will have to make it into a square. So one of the things I want to show you really quickly is by taking a simple piece of notebook paper or copier paper. To make it into a square, you're going to take one corner and fold it over to the other side of the paper. You're going to line it up, so you're going to hold with one hand, fold with the other, and then you would just cut right down on the other side of that to make a triangle so that you would end up having a square. Today I'm going to go ahead and use an orange piece to help show this a little bit. There's only a few steps and a couple of cuts, but the end result is a nice pretty butterfly that you can put into a letter with somebody. So to start off, you're going to begin in a diamond formation. You're going to take one corner, fold it down to the other. As usual, I'm going to hold it when I've got it lined up, and then I'm going to fold it. From this position, I'm going to take one of the top corners, fold it over to the other. And then I'm going to make the antennas. Keeping the paper folded, on this top part, you're going to make just a very small cut, and that small cut is basically going to stop about a finger's width away from the edge. The longer you, or the further out you start, the longer the antennas will be. Once you have that, you're going to open it back up. You're going to take the bottom part, or this bottom corner, and you're going to fold it up, and what you're looking for is so that you can make a square. Does not have to be exact, doesn't need to be perfect, but you want to make it look somewhat like a square. Then you're going to take the tip, or this corner that you folded up, and you're going to bring it back down, and you're going to do it between the fold and the corner here. Again, this doesn't have to be an exact science. It can if you want it to be. But the idea is that you're going to make just a little bit of a fold. The next one is you're going to take this top part, fold it all the way up, right past the antenna. And then you're going to take the whole thing and turn it over. You're going to make a cut starting at the bottom corner, and you're going to go up to where the paper has been folded. Then I'm going to fold it all the way open. I'm going to make a very slight, what I like to call an ice cream cone fold. The idea is that from where this triangle meets the horizontal line, we're going to make it down sort of a diagonal. Again, we're not looking for perfection, we're just looking for progress. So the idea is that we're moving it to make sort of like a little ice cream cone. We've got 2 more cuts and then we're finished. You're going to cut right along this area here, straight line, and you want to find almost that you have a diagonal cut coming from all the way down here. So, have my diagonal, have my straight cut. At that point, holding that ice cream cone, I'm going to fold one over, fold the other, and I've got myself a beautiful little butterfly. Enjoy.
Okay, now we're going to work a little bit on our hidden treasures. This is a simple, and I do mean simple because I am not very good at origami,
I made one too.
but Lucy made one as well. And what are these, Lucy?
Little pocketbook sort of things that you can tuck things in. See, bunny slide.
A little pocketbook that you can tuck secret things into. And it's very nice for us to be able to send off to someone so that you can have a picture if you have them, and you have a little spot inside to hide in things that people would find as their favorite treats. So like butterflies or strawberries. On the inside, maybe a favorite flower like a sunflower. Since it's spring, there's lots of things that we can find that say hello spring and things like that.
Emojis.
Or you can draw your own and cut them out as well. But this is made from a piece of paper that can be just the size of a copy paper, so it's regular sized paper, 8.5 by 11 or A4. Or even if you wanted to pull out something from a magazine, you could easily pull a pretty colored piece of paper out and use that as well. You might have to cut it down just a little bit, but not too much. Just even up that edge. And when you do it that way, instead of gluing a few things on like this, you may have to glue some things on to hide, advertisements and that sort of thing. In addition to the pockets that Lucy just showed you, there's one other pocket. Can you show that one?
I showed in these ones and these ones.
The secret pocket.
Oh, I forgot about the secret pocket. I don't know how to open it.
On the bottom, it actually makes a large pocket. So if you wanted to write a letter that was regular size, you could slide that in as well. So again, it's a nice little gift to mail. I would also recommend it for family members if you wanted to. We're all kind of stuck in the house together, and it's a good way of Lucy can make hers and put it on the table. I can make mine, siblings can make theirs. And as we set those on the table throughout the week, you can hide a little secret note in there, maybe something special that you found, maybe something that you saw that you wanted to share. So the first thing we're gonna do is take the paper. We're gonna do it as Miss Dunn says.
Hamburger.
So it's like a hamburger, not like a hot dog, like a hamburger. And we're gonna take the bottom of it and bring it up to the top. When I do origami in my wonderful way, I always make sure the corners match up at the top. I'm gonna hold it in the center, and I only have to do a slight crease, so just in the middle, almost like I was making a bow tie.
Oh, wait. Can you help me just out?
You got it. Squish. So all I did was make a crease in the center.
How's this?
Perfect. And we're gonna open it back up and take this bottom and bring it to the middle where you just made that marker indent, that little crease. And I'll show you in a second. And that one we're actually gonna push all the way down. Again, I made sure to make my corners match on the edge, and I made that right through the center. And that's gonna stay just like that. And then, of course, we unfold it. So now it's flat again, but I have that crease. We're gonna do our corners first, that's right. So we make our little corners. So I'm taking that edge and bringing it in just to the place where I
Like
made
so.
that, just like that, where I made that small corner. So I've got that turned in here. So we've made it into this style, and we're gonna go ahead and fold that up. Okay? So now you have the two corners folded, and you fold it all the way up. Now this is the trick that I always screw up, so mind this. Now we're gonna lay it down flat. So I've taken it, I've turned it over. My fold is on the table, and on top of that, I'm gonna take this side and bring it over to the other. As I bring that over, I'm gonna match up my corners at the top and the bottom, hold in the center. You're gonna have a little bit more of a crease there at the bottom because you have that other side with its corners turned in. So make sure you give it a little bit of extra time to get that crease nice. Very well done, Lucy. She's got her corners matched, and then she presses that crease up. Okay, I'm gonna open it back up, and again, we're gonna make that sort of like a French door. We're gonna bring in each corner to the center so that we create that sort of French door concept. So I bring in my two corners. Yeah, French doors open up that way.
They do? And our doors only have one door.
You're
Why
right.
do French doors have double doors? Look this up, people. Why are French doors double doors?
We will look forward to your comments on that. So now we're gonna bring the other side over. And we got one of our French doors, and now we got the other French door. And as Lucy said, it's also a double door.
Bonjour, French door.
So now we have that, just like that.
Hang on.
You got it?
French door won't stay shut.
Okay, I'll hold you. Yeah, you got it, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so checking my book to make sure we're doing this right. The next step I'm gonna do is take this top part and bring it all the way down. Okay, I'm going to take the top part and bring it all the way down so that my four corners or my two corners will match.
These ones are hard. Hard zip, everyone. Brace yourself.
That's right, we can get it. And we're really doing that so that we can prepare that crease, because then we're going to tuck those little corners in to the pockets that we made. Tucking them in. Okay, so now they're tucked in. Lucy's getting her corners made.
They're snapping the wrong way.
That's okay. And at this point, you can see that
It was a chair.
It was the chair. At this point, you can see that you have that big envelope opening.
Wait,
Oh,
I didn't fold it one more.
Nope, you got it. You just got to tuck your corners.
Oh, yeah.
Tuck your corners. And then you have that envelope. You can also then decide, do you want to have the square pockets on the front?
It's like a wallet.
Or do you want to have the little angular pockets on the front? Up to you. But there we go. Now we have it. We've got some flowers that we cut off of a greeting card, and we can just put that on the inside, glue that like that. And if you find that you are working with one that is from a magazine page and you're going to need to cut out other little strips to line it up, you can do this without having to have any construction paper. You can just take another piece out of a magazine and use that as a blue piece of paper and line that up for your designs. So as we work on finishing these up, we wish you well in your creativity, and again, use them for your family, use them for your friends, send them out to your neighbors. Enjoy creating.